What's up, everyone? John here with Motivation Theory Running. Woo! Just finished a 5-mile post ultra 4 days ago run. A little shakeout just to see how everything's doing, and it felt fantastic. Actually, was not actually too sore after the run, so that's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's good that I wasn't sore. It could be bad if I didn't push hard enough, but it could mean that my fitness was there, and that I'm in pretty decent shape, so I didn't tear myself up too much. Give this a couple minutes for everything to kind of go out to everybody. This is completely unplanned. Still got my pile of clothes back here. All my changes of clothes and stuff. Extra layers when if I got cold. It was a cold day. What's going on, everybody? See if we get the chat, live chat. Welcome, everybody. It's always interesting to me to go live on mobile because I can't see anything, especially when it's not planned. How's it going, everybody? There's no way for me to see who's here. Hey, Thomas, what's going on? Good to see you. You made it in the video. You and your dog. Running in reverse of the long loop. Yeah, so I thought I'd hop on. I just finished the run at baseball practice. Just figured I'd hop on here and say what's up to everybody. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I get a lot of weird looks. I think that some other people actually probably recognize me because the beard stands out a lot. But most people won't say anything. It's pretty funny. Because I know I run a lot in the area, and I do a lot of videos in the area, so I know they show up to a lot of people who train there. It's an awesome place to train. Awesome, beautiful woods, beautiful woods. Hey, Donna, thank you very much. Felt great. The race was a lot of fun. I'm going to be filming a video where I break down all that stuff. I could talk about it here too with everybody, but I'm going to be doing a more comprehensive breakdown of the race to discuss, some of the things that I did well, some of the things that I didn't do well from a logistics standpoint, what I could have done better, what I could have done better in the race, and just kind of go through all that. Donovan said, I never ran an ultra, but I'm considering it. You should do it. It's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. My whole channel is based around the beard gave me away. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about shaving the beard, at least cutting it all back. But yeah, it's not something that I think the average person can do, and that's the whole purpose of my channel is trying to bridge that gap for folks who are runners, who are contemplating it, who are thinking about it, and just trying to demystify it and make it a little more accessible to people. Donovan said, I'm mostly a road runner, so it would be a big transition. Yeah, transition from road running, but it's not as hard of a leap as you might think. There's a lot of different races, obviously. Going from like road running to like Western States is probably, or one of the big mountainous hundreds or something like that. But there are a lot more races that are accessible. There's a little bit of practice you need to do on some trails if they're technical, but there's ultras that are on more forgiving, tame, paths, fire roads and things like that you could do. They're a lot of fun. They're definitely a lot of fun. They're a lot easier on the body. I transitioned into ultras. Hold on one second. Anthony Wright said, I loved your trail race video. Made running one seem so much more accessible. Yeah, that's exactly why I do this. I lost my train of thought now. So the problem is the chat comes up here and it disappears real quick, and I'm always afraid if I don't get to it. Frank said, oh, okay, I missed your thing. Okay, so I missed Frank. So Frank, what happened yesterday is typically with these live streams, I set them up in advance and then I connect to them from the streaming software. Well, I did that from at home, got on mobile. When I got out to where the baseball game was, the cell signal was so weak that it wouldn't connect at all. so I couldn't stream live. Here it's a lot better. It's a different field, different area. So that's what happened. Then I tried to type it in there that I just canceled. I tried many times and it was frustrating. So I ended up just canceling. Like I said before, I'm going to be doing a more comprehensive video, hopefully Tuesday with baseball. I mean, baseball, you know, Gracie's got 3 games this week. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy dealing with the game. So I'm trying to kind of figure out the schedule. It might just be kind of hit or miss, you know, ad hoc. I mean, with the schedule with the live broadcast, because, you know, games are just peppered throughout the week, so I can't always plan exactly when I'm going to be doing one. So instead of disappointing, I might just have to kind of postpone them for a little bit, or just pick a day I know that 100% it won't interfere with anything like that. So, you know, my nights are packed. You know, tonight was great because I got to come to baseball practice and run in an area that I normally run. So I ran 5 miles today, shakeout run, just posted it to Strava. I felt really, really good. Like I was saying, I wasn't very sore after the race, and, you know, typically, you know, going slow, that's understandable. But I'd like to say that, you know, my fitness was there, my legs were used to it, at least handling that pace. I would have liked to have gone faster, but I sacrificed doing that to just have someone to run with. So, and, you know, you kind of merge your plans together and you kind of deal with it that way. And thank you, Anthony. Appreciate it. I'm glad you liked the video. Liam says, are there any ultras on road, or is it just trails? There are road ultras. I don't know if I would want to run one. Marathons are about as far as I want to run on a road, but I'm sure there probably are. You know, I think Badwater's all road, right? 135 miles in the hottest place on earth. Frank said, small minority of ultras are on the road. Yeah, I don't think there's a super high demand for ultras on the road. Maybe a 50K. If someone wants to run a really fast 50K, that'd be great. Frank said, tactics for your race seem like they centered around getting the loop choice right. Yeah, so when I first committed to doing the 11.2 mile loop, Alex, the race director, had said, hey, would you wear the GPS tracking thing? I said, sure. But anyways, I mean, that didn't have any bearing on it. But when you chose to do the 11.2, they asked you to commit to doing 3 laps. So I had to do 3 laps. Thanks, Don. Tom said, I'll let you borrow the dog flying through this woods. Yeah, that'd be great. I can imagine running with the dog out there. That would feel like a trip. So I committed to the 3 laps. And where things started to kind of get off my plan was the longer stints in the aid station. So if you look at my moving time was only about 9 hours, 55 minutes, which meant that, you know, besides a couple, you know, pee breaks here in the woods, here and there, that was aid station laps. So my uncle came at the beginning, the first lap. I was only talking to him for a couple minutes, and I was waiting for the gentleman I was running with, which was fine, and it was awesome. It was a great conversation the whole time, but I had to adjust my plan. My plan was to get back to my aid station, my car, and just eat something real quick, take it with me, and get back on the trail and just keep moving. I wanted to just keep moving the whole time. So you got to think, even if 45 minutes of that hour was walking down the trail, I could have got another 4 miles in, and that would have given me enough time to get another lap in. So what I was hoping for, my plan is that eventually I would do either 3 or 4 11.2 mile laps, and then squeeze in one last 6.5 or 2, and that was the plan. So it's weird to try to balance it out. So I only had an hour left. I mean, had I just gone full out, I still probably couldn't have got that 6.5. There's just no way at that point in the day, after having run 40 miles, travel 41 miles at that point, to run that fast on those trails. It was just too much. It had been too much for me. So there was no appetite to try to get another lap in, but had I saved more time in the aid stations, I think it was possible to get another 6.5 in. And I would have been happy, because I was actually really hoping, really what I was hoping for was that 46.5. That's what I was really, really hoping for. I mean, 50 was ultimately that, but it's just the configurations are weird of the laps to do that. So yeah, there was a lot, filming that whole time was actually was kind of funny, because typically I would have talked a lot more. I was planning on talking a lot more during the race, but with running, and I realized running with someone didn't allow for that, because the whole we were having conversations literally the whole time, which was awesome. That made it so much more easy for the time to pass. So it was weird filming during that, and that kind of changed things too. That changed how I was going to document the race. I think it documented okay. I mean, I don't know how much people enjoyed that or not. Frank says you probably could have gotten in 4 long laps rather than 3 long, 1 short. Yeah, I think, yeah, ultimately, I think I was thinking I was going to get the 3:11.2 or 4:11.2s in. That was, the plan if I didn't pair up with somebody. And I didn't have a plan to pair up with somebody. That happened pretty early on. I think mile 2. I think we paired up right after, probably right around mile 3 is pretty much when we kind of paired up, because we were doing that first lap together, and we were really the only people around. There was 2 other folks that were around us at that point. So it was dark, and it just made it easier to make sure you stayed on the path. And then the conversation was so good. The guy was a doctor, super cool, run a ton of ultras, has had a lot of stories, and so I chose that over possibly getting another 4 to 6 miles. So that's the decision I made, and it was definitely worth it. I think I made a friend there, and made a contact, somebody who runs around the same speed, and you can't that's worth a lot more than a couple more extra miles. Hey Arlene, I did great. Thank you. I appreciate that. JFK 50. So I went out to the JFK 50 site. I'll answer that in a second, Frank. So I went out to the JFK 50 site and was really seriously contemplating signing up. But my biggest issue, and I'm just going to be completely honest, is the $300 price tag. I'm just right now, there's so many races that are better. I don't want to say they're not better. That race is awesome. I love JFK 50, but for $300, it just seems like that race director is more and more. Hey, Recycle Wednesday, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. The prices are going up. I mean, you gotta pay for a hotel, and it's a phenomenal race. I'm not going to take anything away from the race, but it just seems like the price is getting really, really high. And I just right now, having just done a race, I still got to do the Marine Corps Marathon 50K this in a couple weeks. It's a lot of logistics. We got baseball going on, and I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. I really want to do it really badly, and maybe I'll do it next year when I can get in on the early price and it's a little bit cheaper and can plan it out. But right now, I just don't think it's going to happen, which makes me upset because I love the race. So let me go check back some of these. If I missed one, let's type it in again, guys. Hold on 1 second. Frank said, were you passing people that started early on? We started hitting a lot of people when we got back onto the short loop. So how it started, there was a lollipop stem, as they call it, in the 24-hour. And then you're on the same course with the 6.5 mile folks, and it deviates basically at like almost just under 3 miles. It goes on the long loop and right back around probably mile 5 for the 6.5 mile folks. I don't remember what mile it was for us, but you end up getting back onto the same trail. And then you start passing and having folks pass you. And not a lot of us passing them. It's a lot of the people running the 6.5 mile loop passing us. Teams, the people that were running teams, those people are coming flying through. Got to see the leader run quite a bit. He passed us a lot. That's the gentleman at the end of the video I showed you. He's phenomenal. I think he's 60 years old, just sponsored, just killing races right now. So we weren't passing. It actually was very... it wasn't very crowded at all. I mean, we weren't passing a ton of people on the long loop, and I don't even know how many people ran the long loop. I don't. There's probably less than 15 people. I think I ended up finishing out of like 56 people, right around 26. Eric and I were right around there, 25, 26 out of the whole time. So we're like middle of the pack out of everybody who was running. So there was points where it was crowded, where you had the day hikers with their dogs and stuff. But when we were out on that long loop, didn't hardly see anybody, which was awesome. So we're trying to get the chat back up. Come on, chat. Hold on one second. All right. Yeah, I was flying on that first loop. We were doing pretty good on that first loop. I ran the first loop harder than I wanted to. Thomas Top said, I noticed that everyone was really spread out. Yeah, Thomas was actually out there. I passed Thomas. It was probably right around 3.5 miles, Thomas, I think, on the first loop for when I saw you. Having a hard time with the chat here. I have to touch the screen. Live chat. Anthony said, I'm the guy who commented on your 12-month post who lost 126 pounds and started training to run ultras. So great to meet you. I'm from Charlottesville. Live in Toronto. That's awesome. 126 pounds. That is such a phenomenal feat. So congrats to you. That is awesome. Frank says, it seems like they are trying to use the entry fee to reduce the size. Maybe there's an extra cost associated with putting the race on. From what I've heard, and it's rumor mill, is that is pretty much that race director's income. So that's, there's speculation that could be why it is so expensive. But it is a phenomenal race. It's a horseshoe race, so it's not a loop. There probably is a ton of logistics and costs associated with all that. So you know how I feel. I'm very supportive of the race directors, but it seems like a lot right now. And maybe I'll do it next year. And I've also paid for it, I think, at least once, maybe twice, where I didn't run it because I ended up getting hurt or something stupid like that. So, Texas County Living said JFK 50, $6 per mile. Ultras getting exclusive. Exactly. That's funny. I didn't think of it that way. Recycle on Wednesday said they didn't block off the trail. No, that park does not block off the trails. So the only part that was, actually none of it, like say even where we parked wasn't blocked off per se. They did have an entry part where you could come in, but it's open it's a public park, so they couldn't block it off. So it's not that bad, but it did get crowded in spots. There's spots that are far enough out from the main building where people don't really get out to, so it wasn't too bad. Arlene M said, how and where are you doing the MCM 50K? I'm actually thinking about doing it slowly on the treadmill. I'm actually probably going to go out and do probably the park where I just did the ultra this past Saturday. I'll probably go out there and just run 31 miles out there. I don't know why the chat keeps going away. That's really annoying. Frank said $6 for a mile. A mile for a race isn't bad. It's not too bad. And again, I've paid for the race. I've done it twice. I've probably paid for it 4 times. It's not super bad. I mean, is it worth it when you pay like $250? Yeah, it's worth it to me. But just with everything going on right now, it's not just the race. It's everything that's kind of going on that I got going on in my life. It's logistics, paying for the hotel, getting my family out there. I got travel baseball going on. I got to plan all around that. I can't just kind of take off and go do that if there's going to be a tournament that weekend, and I'm not sure if there's a tournament that weekend. So instead of just stressing, sometimes you got to just say, no, I'm just not doing it, and make it easy on myself. That just, got to let some things go sometimes. And I've had a phenomenal year so far. I'm gonna do again, like I said, the Marine Corps Marathon 50K. I'm looking at some other local races that are going to go on. So we'll see. Recycle on Wednesday said, I bookmarked your recap video to watch in a study break this weekend. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I mean, I had fun doing that. Thomas Top said, let me know if you want someone to pace along with you, at least part of the way. Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking about possibly doing the three loops, the 11.2 mile loops. They're good. It's a great loop. We'll see. You never know me. You never know me. I might just ended up doing around the neighborhoods. Convenience definitely dictates a lot of the stuff that I do, and a necessity does too. Being a father with all these kids and a wife that I need to, I'm trying to be as fair as I can with time. You do what you got to do. West Virginia Running Don said, I have some friends from work doing the virtual MCM. Yeah, I was a little down about that. I was actually really looking forward to doing that race. But I'll get it done. Arlene M said, MCM is almost $200. JFK is somewhat famous ultra and draws a lot of U.S. elite athletes. Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Again, I didn't want that to sound negative against the race, because it's probably 50% the cost right now, and 50% just me not wanting to deal with the logistics of getting all myself. And am I going to take my family? Am I going to leave my wife behind? Do I got baseball tournaments? What if one pops up? My wife can't cover. It's just it's difficult. So yeah, the JFK is an awesome race. Anybody asks me should they run the JFK, especially people running their first 50, I recommend the JFK hands down. It's an awesome race. The atmosphere, it's historic. You meet just awesome people in the race. You get a mixture of trail running, nice flat, trails along a river that are just flat. Mulched roads along the C&O Canal. 27 miles of that, you'll be praying for a hill at the end of that, and then you get 8 miles of road racing there at the end, and it's a historic race. It's an awesome race. Do I think it's completely unreasonable? No, I don't think it's completely unreasonable, but I've paid for it I think twice now that I've not run it in years past, and I don't want to throw another $300 just in case something happens, scheduling conflicts, something. It is what it is. My legs were awesome, Frank. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. I was very surprised and happy of how well I did. I was actually jogging the next day at the baseball game. I was jogging around, just 50 yards here, 25 yards there. Felt great. Felt heavy at that, but I didn't feel bad. The next day, I probably felt on day 3 that I could have ran yesterday, but I didn't. I wanted to wait 4 days. My Garmin watch said 4 days to recover, so I thought, you know what, I'll listen to the Garmin watch. And so today I ran, and I actually had to back off. I wanted to run harder, but I backed off just to make sure that everything's okay. But I felt great. Nothing hurts, nothing sore. Pretty much at day 3, I didn't have any sore legs. I need to roll. I need to foam roll a little bit more, stretch out some, but I don't feel bad at all. And like I said, to me, either I didn't run hard enough, or that means my training has paid off, that I put enough miles in where I'm not getting sore. I mean, I got to the point where I was running marathons where I wouldn't get sore anymore. The biggest failure, and I gave this, so I'm going to do a more comprehensive talk, but like the biggest thing I would go back and change is I would have eaten more. I've done this to myself multiple times in races where I'm feeling good, I'm running good, I can run 20 miles, 25 miles, even close to 30 without eating a ton. I do it in training, but in races it's different. I did try the poles. It was a huge pain. They were awesome. I tried them on the 4th lap, and I was trying to film. I was holding the poles. I had the camera here, running with the poles. I'm going to break out the camera to film. You guys don't understand the logistics and nonsense I put myself through to film and do all that stuff. It's a lot to worry about on top of running a race. as I would have eaten more, I started to notice that I was going into a caloric deficit pretty hard by probably mile 25, 26. That I should have been eating more. I was eating the baby food, and I just wasn't craving that. And I was staying away from the main aid station with the food. I'm not sure why. I was really hoping to loop and get back onto the track, back onto the trail. It is a bad. That was a huge bad, a very bad combo, Frank. And so I should have eaten more. If I would have had the pierogies and the grilled cheese and the soup at the end of lap 2, I'm pretty sure I would have done another 11 because I just would have felt better. We were really slow on mile 11. Eric was slowing up at the beginning of it, so I slowed down for him, and then at the end I was slowing down while he was speeding up. So we kind of had we weren't going through the low at the same time. That's what I'm saying. The compromise was there. But had I eaten at the end of lap 2, probably 800 to 900 calories, because I think that's what I ate. I ate 4 pierogies, about 250 calories. Probably half a can of soup. That cup you guys saw was like super concentrate chicken noodle soup. It wasn't watery. And a half of a grilled cheese sandwich. So I'm guessing that's probably 600 to 800 calories, maybe closer to 800 calories. And I ate a goo block. So I'm learning. I know that I was burning probably 1,400 calories per 11-mile loop, and I let it get the best of me. And I didn't feel terrible. I felt worse, but it definitely kicked my butt. And I ran out of water probably 3 miles before the end of the first loop, or the third loop, which was bad because I didn't want to eat gels and the goos without it. So yeah, I underestimated the amount of water. I typically would only ever need those 2 bottles for 10, 11 miles. And I even filled up once, which means I had 3 bottles on that loop. So something was off there. I just wasn't really good about maintaining my hydration and my food the second lap. So, and I paid for it on the 3rd lap. 4th lap, I felt fantastic. So if I could pass along that information to anybody, I mean, that's you got to manage that. When I talk about real food, that's what I was trying to explain to people. Like, I buy that stuff, the gels and the goos and stuff, because I like to just pepper those things in here and there, but it is not my main source. And if I'm not getting real food, I have things like that happen. It happened to me in JFK one year. But mile 19, I was all on tailwind, and it just smoked me. Oh yeah, so I was having tailwind every lap. And sorry, tailwind. I think you guys are full of it. I don't know, unless you're an elite running a 50 miler in 5.5 hours. I don't know how anybody can feel predominantly on tailwind, and they try to claim that. I don't believe it. Not at all. Not at all. So, I mean, if I had a major mistake, it would have been that. Just not fueling enough. But other than that, it was a fantastic day. I didn't have a super low. I've had super lows in ultras, and had I had more time, I would have loved to have done a 50, because 50 was what I had my heart on doing. I could have easily done that. I did not feel bad at all, so I don't know. I've gone up and down with how I feel about the race, but I've come to grips with, I deviated from my plan, but I'm happy with in the end, where making a friend, and how well the day went, how enjoyable it was. So I don't know. What's up? What's next, guys and gals? I don't know. I'm trying to think, what to look forward to. I've been doing a lot of research on some new races, so I was doing a lot of that the last 3 days. So I'm trying to get together a race plan for next year. I'm looking forward to adding some stuff in. I'm excited. This base building year for me is exciting. That I've got it under my belt. Arlene said, I like scratch hydration better than tailwind. It doesn't have fructose, which can bother your stomach. Yeah, and thankfully I didn't have any stomach issues. Didn't have no GI issues, no stomach issues. I didn't feel bad. My biggest mistake was not fueling enough. You would think I have enough body fat, my body would be good and just kick in and start burning that fat. Didn't do it. So in the future, run these several times. In the future, I'm going to be bringing real food, and I'm going to make sure that I get by about every 10 miles, I probably want to take in 600 to 800 calories every 10 miles. That's going to be my plan. West Virginia Running Don said Goku is having another virtual race this weekend at 10K. Oh, yeah, cool. I was thinking about running a 10K tonight. I just did 5. I was trying to be smart and not try to push it too much just in case, but we'll see. I think the 5, my heart rate was good. Heart rate wasn't elevated, which means I think I'm healing up nicely. Yeah. I would have never thought that I ran 41 miles on Saturday. Definitely would have never guessed that based on my run tonight. So. The chat keeps going away. It's getting dark here. All right. Well, I just wanted to hop on real quick and say hello. Arlene said, let's go 50K still has opening. Yeah, I'm going to have to find some races. So takeaways. Leaving the beard. I don't know about that, Don. Yeah. So the beard, it's getting to the point where I might, it looks so epic in the video though. I must say so myself. The beard, it stole the show. It stole the show. So beards is up in the air. It's probably going to come off. I'm planning some more races, try to get my race calendar together the end of this year and the beginning of next year. The 24-hour race will definitely be at the beginning of next year, or then maybe March, April time period. I'm going to train hard for that. I really want to do well in that, and that's when I'm going to have to. If I do pair up, I'm going to have to be very, very, very adamant about time in the aid stations. So I'm going to look into some 50 milers. I have big plans for 100 miler. That stresses me out. Did you already take the beard off, Don? I'll have to go check it out. I'll have to go check out the beard coming off. So I need to start getting together my mind when I'm going to do 100 and start getting that planned out. Keep it until Christmas. Yeah, be Santa Claus. I got a little bit too much of the black in it to be Santa Claus yet, but I'll be a good Santa Claus one day. When I can no longer run, when all the races have been run and the beard is completely white, and I change this over to, motivation theory Santa Claus or something. Recycling Wednesday said, it's great that you're feeling good. It sounds like a great return to in-person racing. Yeah, it was. Alex and Athletic Equation did a phenomenal job, from check-in to how they handle the aid stations to the food. All of it was really, really good. I think they set the standards for how these races can be done. Look, we just had just under 60 people. They locked that down. It was great. It was really good. Not at any point do you feel unsafe. The way they handled the food at the aid station was really cool. You would just kind of tell them what you want. They had it blocked off. They would hand it over to you and you would eat it. Yeah, it was great. It was really great. I would recommend anybody who wants to run that race, if you're in the area, you ever want to run it, do it. Arlene said the rim to River 100 in West Virginia might be a good option. Yeah, I'm going to start doing a lot more research at exactly what I want to do for 100. West Virginia Running Don said, I get those Santa comments all the time from family. Yeah, with the hair too. Hair is white, so. All right, everybody. So again, beard in question, planning for 100 at some point next year. Setting my race schedule, and I'm going to be doing a comprehensive after action report on this 12-hour race, what I did wrong, what I'm going to do to fix that, and kind of give some tips what might happen to you. So in a race, try to avoid them. Don't do what I do. Thomas said, I've got free in-person 10 milers this fall. Not sure how that will go. Well, hopefully they happen. Hopefully people are going to see that this can happen. The races can go on. So hopefully everyone can do it. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. I love all the comments on the video. It was a huge effort. And for those of you who have followed me this year, thanks, Frank. I appreciate that. It really does mean a lot for all the well wishes and the congratulations and stuff like that. You guys have all seen me from the beginning of January to where I am now, and I'm extremely happy. So thank you all. Motivation Theory Run Club, the whole community, you guys rock. And hopefully I'll see you Tuesday. If not, I'm going to set up, I'll try to plan it out and ahead of time so I can get everybody here. I know everybody's going to be mad because they're going to be like, you didn't plan this. Hey, Philip, hey, nice to see you live and congratulations. Thank you. Flip, I appreciate that. Thanks, everyone. Make sure you smash that thumbs up on the way out. And now everybody's going to be popping in. Thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Recycle Wednesday, thank you. I wonder if I could see who's in here. Won't let me. Won't let me. Mobile's the worst. All right, everybody. Go check out West Virginia Running Don's bald face. Thanks, everybody. Bye. If I can figure out how to, if I can stop the, here we go. See if I can do it. There we go. Later.